So just like Nigerians, the lambast are your fire the former Ekiti state governor, say he no sabi respect at all at all. How dare he not respect our former president Olusegun Obasanjo? They talked on him anyhow. Now the same way they blast both Piers Morgan and in follow the co-panelist of Tinubu minister Tuga for inside the interview we get for Piers Morgan on Census. How dare you call a minister a liar? You call him a liar. He said only 102 Christians have died. Only. They call him a liar. How the I don't know. I not get elder for Igbo land. I not get elder. Well, from that drama to the huge drama that happened today for the Wadata House, Wadata Plaza PDP Secretariat. How it be said they use tear gas and the embarrassing way they use for sure Oga or Tom come on for that place. All of those drama full grand plus. How Nigerians don't they drag President Bola Ahmed Tinubu like I passed my neighbor generator? Drag Oga Shetima follow. Say, hey, bring back our KB girls. So Shebina, you follow to bring back our Chibok girls. Bring back our KB girls. So they don't drag them. So they okay. So you know what? They don't even contact. So, okay. We surrender. Because of that one, we know they do PDP rally again, where it be say the Kebbi State Governor or Taraba State Governor go use comeback for enter inside APC. Well, all of this are more now carry come the demos. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Francis Chinaka, Prince Francis Chinaka for joining us. Always amazing. So today, you see, every day they come here, they say it is safe to call Nigeria one day, one trouble. Sincere apologies for pulling you out of your house today. But I just thought that no, there is no way I can have these conversations without having your inputs. And by popular demand, we thought to have your inputs. Thank you so much for obliging us. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Let me quickly run through the hot stories that we have this evening very quickly. Governor Kefas postpones planned defection to APC over schoolgirls abduction. Postpones Taraba rally after criticism of Kogi events. And they kill our military gallant brigadier general. Then they do APC for Kogi State. They collect new members, new entrants. One of the abducted Kebbi schoolgirls has escaped from captivity. Principal, now they talk this one. Kebbi abductions, how vice principal security guard were murdered, widows, now they talk this one. And then residents protest in Taraba State over ongoing terrorist killings. Urge President Trump to act on Christian genocide. Taraba State. Taraba State, where the governor won't enter the ruling party now. Why? Insecurity, terrorists, bandits plotting to attack Southwest. Gani Adams, now they talk this one. And then very quickly, let's move quick because I mean it's a hot night, so we'll have to be very quick with it. Terrorists storm Eruku town in Kwara State as residents, travelers flee into bushes. Another one, Kwara here. Christian Association of Nigeria can hold strategic meeting in Plateau State, insist on ongoing genocide in Nigeria. They say on any unlike genocide they go on. Terrorists abduct timber businessman staff in fresh attacks on Kogi community. And then UNICEF condemns abduction of 25 schoolgirls in Kebbi, demands immediate rescue of the girls. Come and save us. Oh, PDP chairman seeks Trump's plan help as party crisis was. Say, can't help us. Trump, who they come? It is not only Christian genocide happening. Oh, it is genocide of democracy. Democracy genocide is also happening. Come and save our democracy. All right, I'll let you in on that. Christian communities in northern Nigeria suffer repeated, coordinated, clearly targeted attacks. This is according to Christian Association of Nigeria. And then we'll move on very quickly. APC condemns Turaki's call for Trump's intervention in Nigerian politics. You safe. Yeah, your brother, they fight your house. They go call a whole Trump. Why will you go and call Trump? Oga Turaki, why will you go and call Trump? Okay, we're coming back. Residents of Enugu, Governor Mba's hometown, protest land encroachment by Nigerian army. And then Yoruba Union demands Tinubu's resignation, says Kebbi schoolgirls would have been found if president's daughter was included. Hey. ADC coalition condemns violent attack on PDP headquarters, says democracy under siege. And 2027 defection will not affect NNPP chances. Kwankwaso supporters tell members. But not be the same NNPP where the owner be the person, the founder, they talk, say, owner don't hijack in party, betray him. Okay. We will talk about that one too. 15% import duty. Bloggers, CSOs, everybody threatened to name, shame petrol importation cartel. No could even shame this cartel, the no could hear word. Governor Alias aide mocks Ortom after Turaki-led PDP clashed him from, chased him away from secretariat in viral video. Kebbi attack. Senate urges Tinubu to recruit 100,000 troops To do what? Wike-backed PDP expels Makinde Mohammed Dauda. And then we go on as Nigerian sentenced in US for extortion scheme that led to victims, sextortion scheme that led to victims' death. I will never see Madam Abike Dabiri post that one because the guy name no sound like people. They not the me they talk about. People say Madam Abike never post this one because it no sound like anywhere from southeast or south. So you never post about this one. Hey, yeah. All right. So let's move on. Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, killed in Nigeria. Nicki Minaj speaks out for Christians. But another, I don't want to say unscrupulous news platform have it said, Coin and me talk say misconceptions. Faith is under attack. Nicki Minaj spreads misleading information at the United Nations. Misleading, come and give us the better leading information. I say Nicki Minaj's claims of extremism against Nigerian Christians, like Trump's, aren't backed by any data. I beg, show us the one where they backed by data. That one would wait for. All right, all of these and more. Now we get to talk about this evening. Let's get straight into the conversation. Meku starts the conversation. So let's start with this story about Nicki Minaj. I mean, it's all over. She just had that conversation this evening, so it could be very bad if I know starts with that conversation. So this evening, before now we don't hear say Nicki Minaj will speak for the United Nations in support of Nigeria and in the wake of this Christian genocide wahala where they go on, and of course along other top members of the American House of Rep and all that, they follow the idea as that top they happen. Now, United States-based Trinidadian rapper and singer Onikotaya Maraj, popularly known as Nicki Minaj, has raised concerns over alleged persecution of Christians in Nigeria, telling a United Nations gathering that believes in the country that believers in the country are facing deadly attacks. Now, Nicki Minaj, who addressed diplomats and faith leaders at the UN today, Tuesday, said the situation demands urgent global attention. She said thousands of Christians are living in fear as churches are burned, families are torn apart, and entire communities are forced from their homes because of their religious practices. Okay. Now, Nicki Minaj noted that her concern is rooted in the need to defend fundamental freedoms, emphasizing that supporting Christians in Nigeria should not be seen as taking sides, but as an effort to uphold humanity. Now, she also acknowledged the United States President Trump's, or the President Donald Trump's, for prioritizing the issue, saying his stance has helped draw attention to the crisis and the broader fight against extremism. She reminded delegates that religious freedom allows people to worship without fear and urged that any attack on any place of worship, any church, mosque, traditional place, anywhere, should worry the global community. I don't know why this has been happening in Nigeria over the years. Now, the rapper said, religious freedom means we all can sing our faith, regardless of who we are, where we live, and what we believe in. But today, faith is under attack in way too many places in Nigeria. Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned, families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear constantly simply because of how they pray. Sadly, this problem is not only growing problem in Nigeria, but also in so many other countries across the world, and it demands urgent attention, she says. Then she further goes, and I want it to be clear, protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides or dividing people. It's about uniting humanity. Nigeria is a beautiful nation with deep faith traditions and lots of people bars and lots of beautiful bars that I can't wait to see. She went on and on and on, but let me just play a simple excerpt of that conversation, because some Democrats, when inside the United States, they argue, say, oh, these are arguments, no, they're backed by fact. Oh, no figures to back them up. But we'll get to the figures aspect very soon. But let me see if I can just take an excerpt of that video so that go like in my mouth, we hear him while I take your reaction, sir. Take it
is an honor to stand on this stage with you and the other distinguished speakers here today to shine a spotlight on the deadly threat faced by thousands of Christians in Nigeria. I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage in calling for urgent action to defend Christians in Nigeria, to combat extremism, and to bring a stop to violence against those who simply want to exercise their natural right to freedom of religion or belief. I stand here as a proud New Yorker with a deep sense of gratitude that we live in a country where we can freely and safely worship God regardless of one's creed, background, or politics. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion, like I recently stated on social media. And we don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other. We're way beyond thinking or expecting or assuming for, the person sitting next to you to have the exact same beliefs. We're beyond that. That's ridiculous. But that shouldn't make one person feel less safe than anyone in any room. Music has taken me around the globe. I have seen how people, no matter their language, culture, or religion, come alive when they hear a song that touches their soul. Religious freedom means we all can sing our faith regardless of who we are, where we live, and what we believe. But today, faith is under attack in way too many places. In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed when they hear a song that touches their soul. Religious freedom means we all can sing our faith regardless of who we are, where we live, and what we believe. But today, faith is under attack in way too many places. In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned. Families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray. Sadly, this problem is not only a growing problem in Nigeria, but also in so many other countries across the world, and it demands urgent action. And I want to be clear. Protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides or dividing people. It is about uniting humanity. Nigeria is a beautiful nation with deep faith traditions and lots of beautiful barbs that I can't wait to see. When one's church, mosque, or place of worship is destroyed, everyone's heart should break just a little bit. And the foundation of the United Nations with its core mandate to ensure peace and security should shake. I am joined here today by peace builders, by faith leaders, by those who saw violence, saw rising intolerance, and chose not to look the other way. I am inspired by their work to build interfaith ties, to see the humanity across the lines which might divide us, and to fight for security and liberty for all those who pray. I look forward to our discussion today, and I hope it will encourage deepened solidarity for us to urgently work together to ensure every person can enjoy the right to believe, to worship, and to live in peace. Barbs, I know you're somewhere listening. I love you so very much. You have been the ultimate light in my life and career for so long. I appreciate you, and I want to make it very clear once again that this isn't about taking sides. This is about standing up in the face of injustice. It's about what I've always stood for my entire career, and I will continue to stand for that. For the rest of my life, I will care if anyone, anywhere, is being persecuted for their beliefs.
All right, and there you are. There you have it, which Prince Francis Chilakasa. Would you like to react to this? Because a lot of people don't come on her back neck. They talk, say, oh, she no get accurate data. Just like that foreign media platform reports where earlier, that she's spreading misinformation without accurate data. But what data do they have to back it up? Before we go to your foreign minister own, because that one they come and we'll see the data we give, and then we'll also juxtapose that with the data as already available for Nigeria. But let's have your reaction, sir.
Well, you know, when issues that involve human lives is on the top on the top burner. I think those who are asking for data are very myopic, and they're being very insensitive. When I say being insensitive means that people are being killed on a daily basis. And you see, when this whole thing started, nobody looked at it from the religious point of view. But it became consistent. It became something that kept happening. And then going further, you now found out that a lot of people who are in the IDP camps are actually Christians. And I think that's when people started, you know, raising eyebrow to say, what is going on? Because if you look at it, who are those displacing people from their ancestral homes? And who are those occupying those ancestral homes? Are they Christians or are they Muslims? So when it now dawned on people that, look, when we chased away from our ancestral homes, and the people taking over are not even our relations, they're not even our family members, they're not even people we know, but these are people of different faith. I mean, that was when people started raising eyebrows to say, what is going on? And then in between, we now started hearing about churches being burnt to the ground. So anybody asking for data, for anybody that is talking about genocide in Nigeria, I think that person needs to have his or her head checked. Because the first question you need to ask is, are people being killed? It has been established. Yes. Who are the people being killed? Are they Muslims or are they Christians? It has also been established that they are Christians and that some Muslims are being killed. Now, the question is, who are those responsible for the killings? Are they Muslims, Christians, or traditional worshippers? And it has been established that they are Muslims. And you'll find out that, let me tell you the truth, the Muslims you see them kill are the Muslims that they consider to be infidels. These are Muslims they consider that do not believe in the extremist views. So, I mean, she has said it the way it is, and that is the way it is. Unfortunately, the government has, rather than address the core root of the problem, rather than take steps to ensure that they protect lives and properties, the government has embarked on propaganda mission. They just want to go about trying to, you know, diffuse issues. But the truth of the matter is that, yes, it is clear to everyone that that Christians have been killed in Nigeria, and in their numbers. And that's the painful part of it. In their numbers. So when you find out that a village that has about, say, 1,000 people, and then suddenly you are seeing like 300 people in the village, and you're asking, where are everybody? And they say they are all dead. I mean, is that not enough evidence? Is that not enough data? And then thirdly, you're talking about the country that don't even have database. How many are we in Nigeria?
Now you ain't go tell us.
That's the point. We don't even know how many we are. We don't know how many children are giving birth to on a daily basis. We don't know how many deaths are occurring on a daily basis. So a country without data, and then asking another and somebody else to give you data, okay.
All right, so because I don't want us to waste time on this, and I know that the day is already fast spent, I'd like to ask, just recently, the fact-finding mission, the committee on the way do fact-finding for waiting happen for inside Plateau State, come out say about 60-something villages, 9 don't they displaced. And most of these villages, don't they renamed by other people? So would Nicki Minaj have been wrong to say that people are being chased from their homes, especially their ancestral homes? That's one. And then we don't look at the number of people. We'll not go fit count the number of people we don't die. I mean, the yellow water attack alone was almost counting to 300. We have other ones that has happened from 2000, 2001, 2003 to now. In their numbers, the 2023 Christmas Eve attack for church, that was over 100 and something people that died in that attack. So is it, if you look at these attacks, considering, say, okay, Muslims also they attack, would you say that, would you still maintain that these people are killed simply for their faith, just like she mentioned?
Yes, they are. I mean, let us Precious. I mean, we don't. That's the question that a child will actually give you an answer to. And why would I say that? If people are being killed in an area, and the people that are killing them are not their family members, they're not their friends, they're not related to them, and then those who are killing them are moving in with their own families to take over the place. What is the message? I mean, the government has not responded to certain issues that they should respond to, and one of them is, why are Nigerians living in IDP camps? Why should Nigerians be living in IDP camps when we're not at war? So if Nigerians are living in IDP camps, and these are Nigerians who come from a particular area, their villages and all of that. So for them to be living in IDP camps, it means that their villages have been taken over. So who are the people living in those villages now? What tribe are they? What religion are they? So it is genocide. It is complete displacement of individuals from their ancestral homes. So let us know, there's no missing word about it, but that's what it is.
Okay, so let's quickly get straight to Piers Morgan's show and what happened today for Inside Piers Morgan's show. That show was recorded and a couple of days back, but not today in the era. So I get an excerpt of that conversation, especially after our minister don't reel out or talk out what he's supposed to talk. Then in co-panelists for Inside the Show, can't use annoyance, use talker on can't say this don't be waiting they happen. And then it was a bit of drama, because the one that hurt me the most is the fact that she looked at our minister in the eye and called him a liar. That he's like, well, make I just play him to you, make you see waiting happen for Inside the Show. Take a listen.
There's a reason that we're seeing these Islamic militants going around and yelling Allahu Akbar. That's not by coincidence. There's a reason that they are attacking Christians on Christmas Eve. Let's not forget that back in 2014, almost 300 Christian schoolgirls were kidnapped by these Islamic militants. 80 of them, their whereabouts are still unknown. Here's what's happening in Nigeria is jihad. It's the exact same thing that happened on October 7 by Islamists when they broke into Israel and murdered Jews yelling Allahu Akbar. It's the exact same thing that ISIS terrorists did to the Yazidis in Iraq. It's the exact same thing that happened in Lebanon. Here's the only difference between what's happening today in Nigeria versus what happened 1400 years ago when the Muslim Arab invaders came to Persia is that back then people did not have cameras, but today they do. It is 100% jihad. We've seen it before. This is how the Islamist playbook always happens.
Well, I don't think that the foreign minister was denying that bad things have been happening. He's just denying that it constitutes a genocide and that the numbers
of course,
reported
because his government is a part of it.
Of murders of Christians.
I think his government is.
I hear what she said, because his government is part of it. That his government is complicit. I don't know whether you hear him.
Precious.
No, I could just put down, listen, not vex. For the purpose of people who know watch, I'm not vexed.
Right now, you have an Islamist government in Nigeria. One of the things that he didn't mention to you is that typically it's been a constitutional convention.
We have an Islamic government in Nigeria.
That if the prime minister is Muslim, then if the president is Muslim, then the vice president is Christian. If the president is Christian, then the vice president is Muslim. This is intended to have a proper representation of the Nigerian population. Right now, you have a Muslim president, and then they decided to choose a Muslim vice president, and so there is actually no Christian representation in the Islamist government. By the way, this is a government that is working closely behind the scenes with the Islamic Republic of Iran. You should ask the foreign minister why Nigerian school children are holding pictures of the Ayatollah, who is a brutal dictator and and is murdering my people in Iran. People need to look into the linkages between the current Nigerian government and the Islamic Republic of Iran. I was a politician for 7 years, Piers, and I can tell when someone is lying and avoiding the truth. That's exactly what this foreign minister is doing, and shame on him for lying.
With all due respect to the lady, I'm sorry, I forget her name. She has already exposed her ignorance and lack of knowledge about Nigeria, and it's easy for her to sit thousands of miles away and play games with people's lives. These are real
I'm not the
lives
one playing games with people's lives. 7,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria. 7,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria. Who's playing games with people's lives?
Does not even know whether Nigeria has a president or a prime minister. You can see how she's waffling, she's stumbling. But this is typical of.
I think you're showing your own ignorance. The fact that you're not able to actually counter what I'm saying, and instead you're going after these things that are irrelevant, that just shows how ignorant you are.
Saber rattling, trade in saber rattling. It is typical. You can see she's exposing herself. She doesn't even know the country that she's trying to start a crusade on, and drawing comparisons with Gaza. You know, it's clear what she's trying to do. We have a constitution that has, go and read my constitution before you even try to have a discussion with me. Look up sections 10, 38, and 42 of our constitution. There is federal character enshrined in our constitution. It's part and parcel of it. And the priority is the region where you come from, because we don't identify ourselves as Muslims and Christians in Nigeria. We identify ourselves from regions, geopolitical regions, place where we come from.
But do you accept? All right, Foreign Minister. Foreign Minister, let me jump in. Let me jump in. Foreign Minister. Foreign Minister. Do you? Foreign Minister, if I may. Foreign Minister, if I may. Foreign Minister, do you accept that there is a big problem? You know, we can quibble over precise numbers, but you've already said by your own numbers, over 100 Christian churches have been attacked. You won't commit to how many Christians have been killed. I think you're slightly hiding behind the fact you don't know what all their religion was, but you must know how many people have been killed.
I can give you figures. I can give you figures. You did not ask me. I can give you figures of those that lost their lives
How many Christians have been murdered in Nigeria since 2009?
Since over the last 5 years, I can categorically tell you that 177 have been killed. And it does not mean that the killing.
But you said to me. You said to me earlier. You said to me earlier you did. Yeah, but hang on. Foreign Minister, with respect. Foreign Minister. Foreign Minister, with respect. Earlier, when I asked you that question, you said you didn't know the number because many of the people who've been killed, you didn't know what religion they were. So which is it?
Yes. So I am telling you, number killed when churches were attacked. I told you the number of the churches that were attacked.
No, how many Christians? You misunderstood my question. How many? I want to know. Yes, but Foreign Minister, you have had United States senators like Ted Cruz saying publicly that at least 50,000 Christians have been murdered since 2009. If you're saying that number is wildly exaggerated, what is the number?
I keep giving you the numbers, but clearly, you are not.
You're not. You're giving me the numbers in the last 5 years.
Accept the numbers or even listen to what I'm saying. 102, 177, number injured 98, number abducted 7. Okay, so we are not hiding any facts. But as I said, we don't go about trying to identify a Nigerian's faith when they've lost their lives. That is. But
do you condemn? Foreign Minister, do you condemn the attacks and the murder on Christians by Islamist groups in Nigeria?
Absolutely, 100%. I lost my father-in-law to an attack by an Islamic terrorist group, Boko Haram. So I myself, I'm a victim. I've lost family members to attacks, and they were Muslims. But it doesn't matter whether they're Muslim or Christian, because their aim is to kill, to maim, so that they would.
There's a reason that we're seeing these Islamic militants going around and yelling Allahu Akbar. That's not by coincidence. There's a reason that they are attacking Christians on Christmas Eve. Let's not forget that back in
murder on Christians by Islamist groups in Nigeria.
Absolutely, 100%. I lost my father-in-law to an attack by an Islamic terrorist group, Boko Haram. So I myself, I'm a victim. I've lost family members to attacks, and they were Muslims. But it doesn't matter whether they're Muslim or Christian, because their aim is to kill, to maim, so that they would achieve their objectives. And the number one enemy of Boko Haram is not a Christian. It is a Muslim who does not subscribe to their own brand of Islam.
Okay, I mean, Goldie Gamari, let me bring you back in there. Wider problem with Islamist terrorism.
Well, there's definitely a problem with Islamist terrorism, but just because Muslims are being murdered, it does not negate the fact that there is a targeted ethnic cleansing of Christian Nigerians. One does not negate the other. What we can conclude from this is that there is definitely an Islamist problem. Now, one thing that the Nigerian minister is purposely forgetting to put out there is that it's not just Boko Haram, it's also the Fulani militants. Not a lot of people know about the Fulani militants. The Fulani Islamists are also the ones who are generally targeting the Christian Nigerians, especially in the Plateau Belt. And I've had several Nigerian Christians come on and speak about this. In fact, I have seen videos where you have the Fulani militants, on their motorcycles with machetes. They're driving through various towns, and you have the Nigerian military who's supposed to prevent them from going. They're getting orders to stand down and allow the Fulani militants to go through. Again, Piers, the loss of life is horrible, but as you can tell from the minister, he's avoiding questions, he's avoiding eye contact. Instead of actually answering the questions, he's focusing more on trying to attack me and trying to, go after me because I'm not as familiar with the Constitution. I don't need to be familiar with the Constitution of Nigeria to understand that, over 50,000 Christians have been murdered since 2009. I don't have to be familiar with the Constitution of Nigeria to know that when someone yells Allahu Akbar before they massacre 200 Christians and burn Christian churches, that's not just banditry, that's jihad. And I think the reason that the foreign minister does not want to admit this is because they are somehow complicit in this. And, he is purposely saying that he is willfully ignorant, because how could the Nigerian government not know if those people who have been murdered are Christian or Muslim? The reason that he's avoiding saying that is because if they actually put out formal numbers about the numbers of Christians targeted and murdered, then they will have to admit that there was a genocide. They don't want to admit that there's a genocide, but that's exactly what's happening. And I'm glad President Trump and others are calling it out.
Well, like I said, the lady and people like her trade in starting wars in faraway places where they have no contacts, they have no understanding of, and they can do that from their armchairs from a safe distance. It's a real life situation. This lady would not know the difference between a Fulani man, a Tiv man, an Igbo man if they stood in front of her. But you can see clearly overnight, because it pays, she's probably making money out of it.
I'm getting $0 for this. I'm getting paid zero. I'm getting paid zero for this. I have been speaking out against human rights violations. Listen, Piers, as you can tell, he's not able to actually answer anything that I'm saying. All he does is just attack me and attack my credibility. So I think this shows the viewers exactly where the Nigerian government is.
She's going to keep on insisting that she has not heard the figures. So that's what she's trying to do, start a war. They want to break up Nigeria the same way they broke up Sudan, and now they've run away. She's not talking about Sudan anymore. She's not talking about South Sudan.
I actually have talked about Sudan in other episodes as well.
For Sudan to be dismembered. This is what they do. What they try to do to Africa. Nigeria is the largest country on the African continent. It is the largest shock absorber to the African continent in terms of admitting migrants, in terms of freedom of religion. It's Africa's largest democracy. But people like you, who don't really care about freedoms, about the freedoms of either Christians or Muslims or Africans, will continue to agitate for the breakup of Nigeria, for war, the same way that it's happening in South Sudan, and you've kept mum because you've moved on.
The reason that I know that you are working with the Islamic Republic of Iran is because the Islamic Republic puts out the same narrative about balkanization. That balkanization narrative is something that the Islamists constantly use.
That Africans are losing their lives. To you, it's just another black country to be broken up. You don't care who dies.
Your hands are the one that's covered in blood, not mine.
But we've seen you.
Not mine. I'm not denying the Christian genocide, but you are.
It's not going to happen to Nigeria.
Shame on you.
Move on to your next project. Move on to your next, your disgrace. Your disgrace to the Canadian nation. I'm shocked that you say that you actually practice as a politician in Canada. Move on to the next episode. Leave us alone.
Lakasa. All right. So a lot of people didn't react to this conversation, especially owing to the fact that people talk, say, waiting our minister, honorable minister, do not typical of the ruling party APC, we will rather attack your character than attack the case in view or matter in view. By attacking her that she doesn't know, she made a mistake and said prime minister, and then she now corrected it and said president and vice president. And then he went on insulting her character, but he never really addressed this situation or the incident with empirical evidences. But just before I begin to take your reaction, I beg, just forgive me, because it's very important too for me to get some things, facts and figures right here. Just the little that I could lay my hands on, so that go be like, say, I just come to talk for waiting. I know this shop say it happened for inside Nigeria. Now let's take a look at just a look at the little statistics of some of these attacks where it don't happen for Nigeria. Let me see if I can get some of these. Okay, here you have this. So you have this. This is far back as when 2018, where you have almost 400. Our minister said that only 177 people, 9 don't die since 2009. This report in 2018, no. And you see that number. This number more than double the number where our minister admit for international television say don't die. And this number is just from one attack. One, be 2 attacks. One attack alone. I just, put up a couple of headlines. I'm sorry, I couldn't do proper graphics to bring you the total distinct figures. I know if it's chronicle them according to how they take happen. So that happened in 2009, 2018. Then you have this. That was 400. If I make a read them up, maybe people see them. Make it not be like say I just talk them. So this has it. Almost 400 people did what? Almost 400 people died in mass grave after Nigerian massacre. 400 people, 400 human beings for one grave. All right. And then we go to the next one, just to put a perspective to the claim of our minister. And this has it that Nigeria, no justice for 300 people massacred on Christmas Eve. This one at 2013, no. This one, this publication is January 2014, and this one because of that Christmas Eve 2013 incident after President Tinubu don't take over as president. So this is very, very recent. This is that Plateau State Christmas Eve attack. While some Nigerian local newspapers carry saying 170 something people die, some other news, this is like Christian-based news outlet saying that almost 300 people. Plateau people go that saying that almost that the same figure, about 300 people now died for that incident. But then let's move on quickly to another. This day newspaper, Nigerian newspaper. Now I won't bring up, so we carry this one. Reports: Fulani herdsmen killed 2,539 Nigerians in 654 attacks. In 654 attacks. This report was published when, I think, about 4 or 5 years ago. So you will never count the ones which happened recently. Imagine when we can't add the yellow water attack which just happened in July, Abi. That one had almost 300 people also die. Almost 300 people died in that yellow water attack. Yellow water in Benue State. That is not all though. Make I just look when I go just give you small more figures so that it will help your point while the answer to our honorable minister. And this Boko Haram kills at least 60 in overnight attack on Nigerian village. This was actually in Borno State. Borno State. Okay. And then let me just see if I can just get one more evidence and just give to you. So how is it that a minister, a minister of foreign affairs, is oblivious or unaware of these? Now, attacks cost over 500 victims in Nigeria, Benue State in 2023 alone. 2023 alone, 500 victims. Abemeka, take your reaction, sir.
Your minister of Foreign Affairs.
The minister, sir, yes, sir.
Your Minister of Foreign Affairs thought
sir.
he thought he was going to meet Nigerian press. That is one. Two, he thought that because it's a paid advertorial, he didn't expect that somebody would challenge him this way. And the unfortunate thing with the Nigerian government officials is that they leave issues and attack persons. They attack personalities. They do it in Nigeria every day. Peter Obi will give a speech talking about issues of bad governance. Rather than address the issues, they will now start telling you that Peter Obi is suffering from losing election, that he has not gotten over it. Atiku will talk. They will tell you that Atiku is a man who runs away after election to foreign land. So it's when you don't have grasp of the situation, when you're not sure, when you know that whatever you're going to say will not solve the problem, then you will not say whatever comes to your mind. I mean, the honorable minister should have been smart enough to have at his fingertips, statistics that is reasonable We're not saying you should have the real statistics. The government will never release the real statistics. But we're saying you should have statistics that gives you some level of credibility when you speak. But no, he went there just to sell an agenda of the government, to tell you what the government has at the back of their mind. He had a script he has written in his head, and he's trying to read the script out. He's not there to be proactive. He's not there to answer to direct questions. He's just there like a student who has crammed for an examination. Then when you cram for an examination and then you enter the exam hall and the question is tweeted, you will not be able to reason immediately to know that instead of putting and, is, you will now begin to vomit that thing you have crammed out first. And that's what your minister did. It shows you how shameful your minister should be. It shows you the fact that your minister has no grasp of what it means to be a minister. It's unfortunate. If your minister had calmed down to listen, to address issues, the way he talked like a garage boy. That's the way he was talking. And you know what happens to a kid when you collect the script from a kid? The kid will revolt. So your minister was revolting because he got confused. He wasn't well packaged. He didn't know what to say. So at that point in time, he felt that, attack is the best form of defense. But unfortunately, he goofed. Because if you take this, what he has said, in context of what is happening in Nigeria, you know that the man has goofed. It's the same mantra of the government. Oh, you want to break up Nigeria. Oh, you want to take our mineral resources. Oh, you want to do this. But the question is, in everything that's going on in Nigeria, how many Nigerians are really enjoying the natural resources? How many Nigerians today are feeling the dividends of democracy? In a country where there's so much poverty, so much hunger, people are becoming depressed every day. People are just dying anyhow. You don't have a good health system. You don't have good roads. You can't even rely on the government for anything. So it's not about the position of, they want to break up Nigeria. No, but what are you doing? As a leader, what are you doing to safeguard Nigeria? What are you doing to safeguard the people of Nigeria? Even while he was doing his press interview and all of that, people were still being killed. You saw how a brigadier general was killed. In the midst of all of this, 25 children got kidnapped. And the story behind that kidnap makes it look very, very it makes it look stupid. Because now the police came and said, oh, they engaged them in a shootout, and then they scaled the fence. So as they were scaling the fence, they were scaling with the girls. So you see how government keeps lying. And I keep saying that, it is the lie of government that is, putting the wedge between the people and the government. And then looking at it further, you'll also find out that the woman raised a very pertinent question. You have a Muslim president, you have a Muslim vice president, and your minister is talking about your constitution that talks about, what did you call it, national character.
I was even going to say that even Buhari obeyed the national character.
No, let me finish. He's not talking about, doesn't he realize that, wait, what I'm saying is that,
they lopsided.
No, that is what I'm saying. He didn't think straight. You're saying something that already is flawed, and you're trying to use it to defend yourself. You're talking about the Nigerian constitution, the constitution that has Quran and Islam mentioned several times in it. How many times is Christianity mentioned in it? How many times is the Bible mentioned in it? So when people go out to go and defend a cause, they must be able to study. They must be able to read. They must be able to be, well informed and endowed on what they're going to say. You don't bring out a book that you say, oh, in this book is our Bible. But meanwhile, That book, everybody knows that that book is flawed. And you're using it and you're quoting it. So for me, your minister goofed. And it's unfortunate, but that is what it. Now I understand why he was asking that the whole interview be published without, editing. He wanted to show Nigerians that he spoke like a man, that he was on top of his game. He spoke like Wike, and all of that. But then at the end of the day, what did he do? He goofed. So I'm sure when he watches this video and the president watches it, they will tell him, Oga, you don't goof, you don't misyan, you were not prepared. And that is the truth. He was not prepared.
All right, sir. So make I quickly take him because for that same day, I think on this same episode, Piers also interviewed Reverend Ezekiel. So we could take an excerpt of that interview.
I've performed several genocide burial, more than 70 times. Imagine some of the graves are 501 people killed in one night in Dogona, Hawa. Village named Jemburu. The Nigerian government downplayed that one because the Islamic are controlling the government.
So the Nigerian government, if I may just jump in there, the Nigerian government has vehemently denied there is a genocide of Christians in Nigeria. Further, they say a lot of Muslims have also been killed by the likes of Boko Haram for being too moderate, and that therefore the issue of Islamists killing people is not restricted just to Christians, but also to moderate Muslims. What do you say to that?
So let me give you the background of what happened. This is the background with initial fact finding. They created Boko Haram by many that are in hierarchy of the government to remove Goodluck, who is a Christian. This is what happened. They steered them. They caused riot every village. And the people run away, they were relocated. And their target is to kill the Christian. Because Goodluck is a Christian. That's why Goodluck says, my blood is not worthy for others.
All right. There you have it. Reverend Ezekiel reaction. But then, make I just quickly bring up something very quickly. I don't know whether you know about the death of the Brigadier General who died recently. Now, why would they mourn the death of Yes. Why would they mourn the death of the gallant Brigadier General and the painful, very painful death where Bisen died? Nigerians on the streets of social media can't go dig, go dig out, go find and say one of our own living an operational soldier where they operational. They go like and relike and post like for the page of a commander of ISWAP where follow kill our Brigadier General. Now people raise this one, say, make it make sense that a Nigerian military personnel commented a love emoji on an ISWAP commander's post on TikTok. The same ISWAP that kills your military brothers. And then going through the post, through, I went through their pages and I realized that true. The other one, the ISWAP commander, the other one, our Nigerian military. But then it was later exposed by people who know them that these are repentant Boko Haram people when they enter inside military. I'm going to show you evidence. You can see that. You can see that. I beg, make I take your reaction while I show you reactions of people. Because
you know my position on the radicalization. You know my position on reintegration. You know my position on rehabilitation. I told you it never works, and that has been my position. I said that thing is like somebody who kills somebody's father or somebody who kills somebody's son. And you tell me that the person has repented and you're bringing the person back into the same society where I live. For me, I've always said that it is a mockery on the dead, it's a mockery on the living. So whoever gave government that concept or whoever brought up that idea, that person to start with does not like the country. And that person is more like an apologist, so to say. So for me, I believe that, anybody who comes to you, if a thief comes to your house, the thief comes with two intentions: to be killed or to kill. And then if you see this general's death, precious, I'll tell you, it's something that has really pained everyone. Because as a general of the Nigerian army on active duty, he ought to have some form of equipment or a gadget that gets his location out. But he didn't have it. So how come it is now his phone that he's using to communicate? And then even when he communicated his location, his live location and live feed, the question people are not asking is that, who sent it out? It means that the command base where that information was sent has been polarized. So who sent out the information? So there's so much questions we need to ask. As far as I'm concerned, the Nigerian security architecture is completely compromised. Because if it is not compromised, then something must have gone wrong. Somebody must have given out that coordinate of where the man is to the ISWAP or Boko Haram or terrorists, whatever you want to call them. And the funny part of it is that when the news broke up that the general was missing, the Nigerian army came out and said nobody was missing. So you find out, each time the government tries to tell, cover up the truth has a way of coming out. Or they said, no, nobody was missing. It has been declared missing. So if not for the fact that, people were tailing this man and people had intel on him, he probably would have died and nobody would mention it. Because in Nigeria today, the mainstream media, they're not even talking about what the killings that are going on. And that is kudos to social media. Yeah, you can say that the social media is overbearing and all that, but the social media tells you what is happening, real time. The way we are on your program now, if we decide to say something wrong or something terrible about a minister or a senator or even Mr. President, I can assure you that in less than 1 hour, they will trace where you are. And then they will send 3 trucks of policemen to come and arrest one person. Why are they unable to track these militants or terrorists or whatever when they're on TikTok? Why are they unable to track them? Well, I mean, there's a video that is trending where these killing Marundas came for a meeting, is it in Katsina State or so? And they were wearing army camouflage. And these are camouflage that an ordinary citizen will wear on the street, and soldiers will stop you and strip you naked. But they were wearing it, armed to the street. Nobody arrested them. And they met with government officials. So it's obvious that, government has a hand in what is playing out. The government is not telling the Nigerian people the truth. And until they begin to tell Nigerian people the truth, this thing will not abate. Because every morning we wake up from sleep, the first thing the moment you wake up, you're like asking, where have they struck? Where have they killed? How many have they killed? How many people have been killed? How many people have been kidnapped? So for me, we need to, apart from, rejigging, reshuffling, I don't know which other word to use, our military and our personnel and our security architecture, we also need urgently to look at the Nigerian people and to begin to say, how do we treat them? How do we bring them up? How do we, give them a sense of belonging? Nigeria is a failed state. There is no doubt about it. And I keep saying, the only thing that has kept Nigeria together is the people, the resilience of the people. Because the people somehow believe that, oh, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But when you look at Nigeria today, you don't even see a tunnel, talk less of a light. So anybody who comes up to tell you, oh, things are working, investors are coming, this is just story, propaganda, and nothing else. The industry I belong to, people are closing down on a daily basis. People are no longer importing. A man who used to bring in like 20 containers a month is now bringing in 2, 3. And then government will come out and tell you, inflation has dropped to 16%. In what way? What has dropped? The prices of items in the market are still very high. So it's rather, very, very unfortunate situation. But the government has not done what it should do. And nobody's asking questions. All the money that has been budgeted for defense, security, where is the money? Today I was on a different program, and somebody was saying that that they don't even understand what the office of the NSA is all about. That ordinarily we shouldn't even have that in the first place. But now you have an office of the NSA that will tell you, when you want, that will tell the military how to engage, when not to engage. It's painful, it is sad, but honestly, this is the Nigeria we have all found ourselves in.
Okay, so let's quickly move on to other stuff. So another story we did on hand now, it get to do with the kidnap of the 25 girls. Now, Nigerian government don't come under heavy attack over the kidnap of the Nigerian the girls, to the extent they don't tell our president. Why did they do our president like this? They don't tell and bring back our Kebbi girls. The way they do bring back our girls.
Bring back our mother girls.
All right. So Nigerians don't do all over the internet. The press on President Bola Tinubu to bring back the kidnap. They even use the message when you use tweets react to former President Jonathan, use and they remind them, say making also bring back our girls and all that. But one of the things that will happen for that incident, we say, while people they look forward to people they cry over the kidnap of the girls and they wail and they happy and the day sad over the kidnap of the girls. Our vice president, Oga Kashim Shettima, was busy accepting new entrants into the APC for inside Kogi State. And then tomorrow will be Wednesday. They're actually supposed to go to Taraba State to go hand over, to go introduce the governor of the state. When it be said this kind of thing happen like this, so people don't lambast them, they don't congree. This one, so okay, we surrender. We need to do again. We go postpone and so they don't postpone the unveiling of a brand new party for the governor of Kebbi State because of the incident. So this video now, waiting people to use the trend.
APC.
Yeah. APC.
APC. Tinubu. 4+4. Oh no. 4+4. Tinubu. 4+4. Oh no. 4+4. Tinubu. 4+4. Oh no. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo, Your Excellency, the National.
All right, I have to take this out. There's make a take a reaction before I go to waiting happen for inside the judges this thing conference where it happened when they go sing on your mandate for our president.
Precious, you see, the so-called rulers we have in Nigeria, they do not have any empathy. They do not have any love for the Nigerian people. And the mistake they have made is that they forget that the Nigerian people have given up their sovereignty to them. And when you give up your sovereignty to your leader, you expect your leader to care for you. You expect your leader to provide for you. You expect your leader to protect you. But unfortunately, this crop of people we have as politicians, these guys are mad. They have mental, they need to go through mental evaluation. When the country should be mourning, should be worried, it shows you the mindset of the people you call leaders. All they think about is how to retain power. All they think about is how to win the next election. So it's not about the people. That is why you are decamping from one party to another. So decamping has become the order of the day. The electoral laws are not working. The constitution is messed up. We just seem to have a country that has turned into a banana republic. And everybody is just looking. It is really, really unfortunate. The way our politicians are behaving as if they have lost it. That's the way they are behaving. They have lost it completely. They don't care. The life of a Nigerian does not matter to them. The only thing that matters to them is the power they want to hold on to. This is not the Nigeria a lot of us grew up in. I mean, grew up in. This is not. I grew up in a Nigeria where I could take a train from Lagos to Niger State to Sokoto. Nothing. I mean, night traveling in Nigeria was something of joy. That was what it was. But today, that is not what it is anymore. You can't even travel. If you're traveling from here to Abuja now, you have your hat in your hand. Even if you go by air, by the time you land at your local airport, traveling from that airport to your house is another problem. Nowhere is safe. But because the politicians, they carry policemen around, carry DSS, carry military, they feel secured. So whatever happens to the ordinary people is none of their business. Assuming that the son of the vice president was kidnapped, or the son of the president, will your president will he be traveling tomorrow? Will your vice president be where he'll be raising broom as against human life? These guys are just, honestly, these guys, they're something else. I wonder how this.
But they don't relax now. They don't come relax and they don't agree do again now because they don't realize, say, good now. That means they're listening. People will tell you that it shows that they're listening. So did they listen to their
listening to pressures? Listening to what? After displaying their stupidity, you say they're listening.
Okay, sir. All right. So very quickly, I don't know whether say they do judges conference. Where our president go talk, and he spoke very well about the independence of the judiciary and the fact, say, the judiciary is supposed to be something we be say we're not supposed to lose confidence in. But for that conference, when you go talk all of this is when Nigerians they hail listening and talk well. Now we realize, say, for inside that conference, now then get when sync on your mandate, we shall stand for it. And the judges there, all Nigerian justices or judges, they stand up synchro. Make I just play. So now Article 8.
I thank you all for your kind attention.
So this now Paul Ibe, Article 8, and he put them up and he tweets. Let us take the tweet. He say, are Nigerian judges now also standing on the mandate of Tinubu too? One would have thought that they would be standing at all times on the mandate of the constitutionalism and the rule of law. This is worrisome. Now, so
I thank you all for your kind attention.
Everybody.
Music,
all right, so I just wanted you to see what people will say. Is there anything wrong with it? What others will say, is this our new national anthem? To the extent that our judges,
when your president went to present budget at the National Assembly, which is the heart of the people, and your senator, Senate president, was the one who called your mandate we shall stand.
Oh, he was the Songito.
You know, and at that point in time, we just knew that we have lost it. We knew we have lost it. So all along, everybody has said that the Senate is rubber stamp. Now the judiciary has taken over. What is the fate of the ordinary Nigerian? Do we have any? The country is drifting every day. Drifting, drifting, drifting. No problem. Let them stand on that mandate. The day that mandate will shift, all of them will understand that they cost it for themselves.
Now, speaking about the mandate shifting, maybe we'll go straight to the drama what happened today so that I could release you. Drama what happened for the Wadata Plaza today. So, you know, say today, the PDP, after they get their convention, or the other faction of PDP, after they get their convention for Ibadan, talk say they go hold their inaugural National Working Committee meeting today. As they hold their meeting today, as they announced them today, now so Wike faction, when no get a BOTO, they also announced their own national. So none of the members of the BOT be parts of Wike faction. So they also, so there was chaos, there was drama, there was pandemonium, if you like to call it that, at the Wadata Plaza today, to the extent that people felt that the police was almost taking sides with Wike because to some people feel say to allow Wike gain entrance, then get to tear gas, and the tear gas, you know, affect Sheyi Makinde and Governor Bala Muhammad way they there. And then one of the high points of that event, now the PDP, the new PDP chairman, Turaki, calling on Donald Trump and the international community to come to the aid of democracy. In fact, in his words, he said, Donald Trump, we call on you. He said, not be only Nigerian Christians they persecuted. That democracy is also under attack in Nigeria. He should come to their aid. Make I just play small video. We carry an excerpt of that conversation. Everything.
We don't believe there is any BOT because that is an illegality. I think the media should also educate and inculcate a sense of orderliness in the political space so that people will know precisely what to believe in. Because the shenanigans, the perception should be positive. We had a convention where some people were expelled, and then, of course, even INEC does not recognize them, and they were given backing by the police to come and do a charade BOT. BOT is constituted by the NWC. They don't have NWC, and they don't have a constitution. Our constitution says it all. If I'm expelled, I'm expelled. And it is not me or Sheyi Makinde or any person that is expelled. It's the convention of all the states of the federation. Yes, the shutdown you are saying is a shutdown between good and bad.
Yes, sir, the Wike group does not believe in your convention of Saturday. Matter of fact, I spoke with Senator Samuel Anyanwu earlier on, who said he will serve out his term until the 8th of December.
The convention has already dissolved his own term. So the convention can stop any tenure anywhere.
So is your chairman recognized by INEC?
Yes, he is. He is recognized by INEC. Because it's a legal issue. You should report what is on the ground. It's a creation of one man called Wike, who thinks that he can continue to pollute the political space by showing gangarism, animism, and hooliganism and charlatanism. And by so doing, he is not helping even the present administration. Excuse me, madam, let me talk. You have asked me a question. You don't want me to say things. Then you can go. I'm talking about what is causing all this. We should go by the rule. Arrogance and impunity. You see, we were going, the access to go, they'll go, but the police are sneaking people in. This is our secretariat. If they want to say they have a so-called faction, they should go somewhere. All the governors are here. All the senators, all the members of the House of Reps. Why is the media backing them as if they have something in common with us? The police should know that this is not a faction. It is just a splinter group. They want to scuttle and destroy PDP, destroy the opposition, and by so doing, destroy democracy in Nigeria.
So the question I was going to ask you is that the other group are insisting that as it stands now, Senator Tanimu Turaki's name is not with INEC. Barrister Tanimu Turaki's name is not with INEC.
That is their own feeling because they are illiterates. They are driven by arrogance and illiteracy and impunity, by impulse. They believe whatever their boss says in media press, that's what it goes even into their narration. We are driven by law and by system. So Tanimu Turaki, after the convention, there is a report. We have already sent all the reports to INEC. INEC is not obliged or forced to attend any convention of any political party. Have you ever seen APC doing any convention? Did you ask them? But they have leaders, and they are recognized by INEC. Why must we be the only person that you assess? Please. Sir, you should be able to be fair.
Yes, sir. I mean, just one question, sir. You were at that convention on Saturday, and there were challenges. Nigerians were worried that they did not see INEC monitor the processes of that election. Can you speak to us about that?
Yes. The Constitution does not force them to be there, but we must give them notice. We give them notice, and they accept it and acknowledge. We have the acknowledgement that they got the notice. If they decide not to come, that is their own free volition. But certainly we have documents that we have notified them duly, and they accepted. Okay. So the convention is legal because all the court orders have been set aside by the appellant courts, because we have already made a plea, and it has been put aside. So people should know the process of our legal system.
So where do you see this ending? Should the wicked group not back down, and you're not backing down? Where do you see this ending?
No, they are just been supported, and then by the police, and you, the media too. You don't tell them the truth, but they should know that it has come to an end. That's an end of hooliganism. You know, they should go and leave us alone. Must we be with us? This man, why is he working? Is he not working with APC? Why didn't you ask him? Is it moral for him to say that he will be in APC to destroy us? Is it moral for him to say, is it normal that he's working for somebody and he said we will not produce a government in 2027? Why didn't you ask that moral question to him?
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
First and foremost, it's a message of hope, real hope, that I want to give to our members all across the nation and Nigerians. This fight is not about PDP. It is about the future of democracy in Nigeria. So, for us, our people should know that this is a case of it may get worse before it will get better, because we are on a solid ground. And if we have to stay here for the next 2 weeks so that democracy will survive in Nigeria, you will see us here.
Sir, I just have one question for you. The City Minister, Nyesom Wike, was your friend. You people were in the G5 in the last election. What exactly would have happened?
Well, what changed? Hold on. Small minds talk about people. Average mind talks about events. We will rather talk about issues. What's the issue? The issue is we don't believe in a one-party Nigeria. We believe that our founding fathers, they gave us a multi-party democracy. We must sustain it so that Nigerians can have options when they are choosing their leaders. That is the issue. I don't want to talk about individuals, and I don't want to talk about events. Right. That's the issue.
Thank you so much, Governor Sheyi.
Nobody has the power. Nobody has any singular power in this country. You have to appeal and to diminish the opposition. It's not possible. It's never been done before. I think America is watching this. I believe the Trump that we have, that we voted in, is watching this. Yes, the one in general.
Let's go.
People who have been expelled from our party are planning to come to our headquarters to disrupt our activities. And the Commissioner of Police, FCT, assured me, upon his honor, that they will do whatever is possible to protect us and guarantee us safe passage into our premises. Now we are here. Our serving and former governors are here. Our members of National Assembly are here. Our members of Board of Trustees are here. And you've seen how they are now granted access to the Minister of the FCT, a person that has been declared persona non grata in PDP, a person that has been expelled, to come in. They have tear gas us and tear gas even our governors who under the Constitution. So we will be now calling on international community. I want to call on President Trump. What is at stake is not just genocide against Nigerian Christians. He should come and save democracy in Nigeria. Democracy is under threat. I'm calling on all other developed nations, all advanced democracies, come and save Nigeria, come and save democracy. Because I cannot understand how a serving minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will be leading talks, armed talks, and then with the active connivance and support of the police to come and create mayhem here. I have said it, we are willing to lay down our lives to protect our office, to protect our democracy, to protect our mandate. So Nigerians, you are watching what is happening. International community, you are seeing the threat that Nigerian democracy is. Come and save us. Come and save us.
This party. What do we want for this party is peace. We want peace. But anybody, when no want peace, you got to peace. Yes, the word. That's all. In this party. Yes. I don't fear anybody at all. I want to join for 22 years. Now I am in this party. I stand here to stand now. I stand here. The best thing for the governors to go do with Wike is to make peace. Yes, yes. All of them need to go make peace now. Push him. Push him. Because you cannot do anything. You cannot shut up. This party, nobody can kill this party. At all. It's my okay. Make them make sure peace for this party. If something like that, I go move no one down. Then take a chance. Yes, now me don't care. Yes. I know they go, but if I go, everyone will yell. Yes, I go shoot you for this party. Where they?
We have decided that this meeting will be postponed till tomorrow. Meanwhile, I want to appreciate our leaders, our governors, members of National Assembly, former governors, former ministers, members of BOT, state chairmen, and indeed members of the immediate past National Working Committee, who have also come here to show solidarity with us. We in PDP are a peace-loving people. We want peace to reign because we want to take over governance in this country.
All right, so let me just stop you there so I don't take your time too much. I wanted to establish that at the end of the day, they don't regain access to the NEC meeting area where they get the meeting, so they don't get control back of their secretariat and all of that drama that went up. But one of the things we shock a lot of people for inside the drama we happen, and I say, say Ortom and Ogashi Makinde, they may follow for G5. They sabi wear uniform. You understand? Those days now, they call them GG. One name and one name. So they sabi wear uniform. So all of a sudden, Ortom say in follow one name and one name we are today. He not even talk to them like say he's here. And the worst part we say, he did there when they walk him out of the hall. Do like say even see follow Ashwebi Wiara. Is everything okay? Well, let me take your reaction. I go they play the video for background while you talk. Vicky,
the political class, all they think about is themselves. They are greedy, they are selfish, they are wicked, they are, and somebody will call them, they are blood-sucking demons. And we need to be careful of them. For me, it's not whether Ortom saw Makinde or Makinde saw Ortom. What really got me, carried away or got me laughing was, when suddenly the PDP chairman, former governor, admitted that there is genocide in Nigeria.
Christian genocide. You don't understand. He said it's not only Christians that are. He admitted.
Yes. Yeah.
You see, what the PDP and APC don't constantly deny Christian genocide. So
now they have agreed. Now they have agreed. So it shows you that the journey of your Minister for Foreign Affairs was completely useless. Because now those who originally were saying there is no genocide, those who were doing videos telling you how patriotic they are as Nigerians, telling you that Nigeria is a sovereign state, suddenly are now agreeing and admitting that there is genocide. I mean, I've done the serious. I've done posted some of my own views on this rubbish that they played out today. People should go and watch it on my channel.
Please, go and watch you at Prince Chilaka TV, please. Kindly go.
So for me, I'll say, let me say this with all sense of responsibility. The decision to expel Wike and his cohorts is the best thing they've done so far. It's the best decision that PDP has taken. But the question is, will it be sustained?
Now, in response to that question, how do you think it will not be sustained when it be say the PDP members don't come out, can't leak the secrets of the deal where Wike they strike with them? Say the only reason in go get peace or in go stop to fight. Now, if they agree, say they no go feel the presidential candidate.
No, I know that.
So it be like saying I want to not make all of them vex. What they say?
Yeah, I know that there cannot be smoke without a fire. And everybody knew from the, you see, when the PDP came out and said that they have zoned their presidency to the south, and I was expecting that Wike would say, okay, I want to contest. Or that I was expecting that Wike would now say, now that you guys are saying what I want us to do all this while, let there be peace. But then he now started, a different ball game entirely. So I knew that at that point in time that Wike was not interested in peace. He was not interested in anything other than the fact that there should be no candidate standing to challenge Bola Ahmed Tinubu 2027. And that is why they have tried, and they're still trying, any party they notice that is going to provide a shield, a shelter for any strong politician, they want to decimate the party. Check Labour Party, for instance. That one has been in turmoil. Check SDP. Even the ADC that they just formed. Check NMPP or whatever they call it. So any party that they notice that will provide a room for somebody to contest, the idea is to decimate that party and scatter it. But for how long? And that is why you see everybody is decamping to APC. No governor that has come to APC. Like I keep saying, all the governors that have come to APC, what have they done? What are they showing to the people? What is it that they are doing that is different from what they were doing before in their own parties? But nothing. It's nothing. It's just about, it's all about power to remain relevant in the system. That's all they are interested in. It's not about Nigerian people. The Nigerian people are not even secondary. The Nigerian people don't matter. But unfortunately, the Nigerian people are not thinking out of the box. Because these same Nigerian people, tomorrow, give them 1,000, give them 5,000, they will do what you don't expect them to do.
All right. So in the wake of this incident will happen, the ADC don't condemn and say waiting wicked team they do an affront to democracy. Say, some the people are going to say ADC not been at the attack or ADC one that they put man for the attack. But and then some Yoruba groups also don't they call for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu resignation, saying he no they capable to handle waiting get to do with the death of the with security because of the kidnap of the young girl. So they're saying daughter. One of his daughters follow for the children, then we be say there. Maybe the children therefore no kidnapped. In fact, they don't even see them long ago. Would you like to react to that while I let you go, sir?
No, but I mean that's what everybody's saying. Everybody's saying that the government is not providing security for the ordinary Nigerians. The government is providing security for itself. They're just caging themselves in, And I think a few years back, was it? I think it was how would I said it, that the children of these masses that you're not training, that you're not caring for, tomorrow they'll become a problem to you. And that is what we have playing out in Nigeria today. That's what we have playing out. Because the government is not caring for the people. It will get to a point where the people will revolt. And when the people will revolt, it will be very, very disastrous.
I just wanted to ask a quick one. So, why does this leave Atiku Abubakar with this drama will happen for PDP now? And the fact, say we keep in talk saying, "Nine be the Kianka one, nine be the Now be the locals to be the eat PDP. Say now way Atiku don't come out, say PDP could do okay. So now when you don't happen to wiki like this now, Atiku never reacted. But what do you expect? Well, what be the likely reaction this article will get for this
No, but you know Atiku's membership had been in abeyance. And it has become very obvious to everybody now that Atiku was not even the problem of PDP. It is Wiki. Yes, Wiki has been the problem of PDP all along.
It's been camouflaging that is Atiku and everybody be done the
but now you and I have seen what has played out. So why do you point? Atiku was not there. Atiku did not show face. Peter Obi did not show face. So how will you now say that these are the problem of the party? But you claim to be the one that has solution of the problem. You were there. Imagine the Nigerian policemen almost fighting themselves over politicians. Imagine that shame. The ones that came with Wike's team and the ones that came with Makin's team, they almost fought each other. Is that not a shame? It shows you how they have reduced the Nigerian police to nothing.
Ew. Thank you so much, sir. Make I let you may you go. Nights don't come. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you big time, sir. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you, sir. God bless you. All right, Nigerians, phone lines are open, so begin to call us 08170294077. That's the number to call. Or you click on the link by the pinned post. On that pinned post, the link will bring you straight into the studio to put mad for the conversation. Good evening and welcome, Laura. Good evening and welcome.
I'm about to sleep.
How can you sleep when we had Piers Morgan's show here today? Now you make me play that show. I play him because of you. He don't go. Nights don't come. You know, say today you need to join me. Now me just go drag him out today. So make a letter, make it go.
Guys are 1 hour ahead of
yes.
Just a few, one or two things, precious, quickly. Now God say make weekend no do. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Go ahead, I can hear you. I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
I have to speak broken English. Yes, I
can. I bet speak pidgin.
Now God say make we can no win that PDP primary result because we can for what's fast Tinubu. Every how will I speak it in pidgin now? Every kasala when it boss for Nigeria, we can get hand from Yerima Mata to PDP matter. In Delta State,
that's not a fair thing. That's not a fair thing to say about my former governor.
In Delta State, we call this kind of people Egbe Weja.
We they talking like that for Port Harcourt.
Really?
Yes,
okay.
They call Egbe Weja for Port Harcourt.
Most of the South. So that means you know those people that anywhere there is fire.
Yeah, Egbe Weja day.
Yeah, so that's what we can use in this season. That's number one. Then quickly, this I just saw a video. I've not watched it from Ayo Fayoshe.
Okay.
Is it Ayo Fayoshe, the brother of the former governor?
Okay.
He said Tinubu
should resign. Yes, I saw that.
I just want to use this opportunity to add my voice. There's no water in my mouth. Bola Ahmed. Tinubu, what's that his other name? He has many ones.
I no go ever remind you any name. God no go let me remind you any name.
The man who finished secondary school before his school was founded, just along about Shekia, carry your load, come and go to Iraq. We are tired. I beg Nigerian Senator, Central Bank, all the money that Bobo Tinubu, Bobo Chicago plan to take, let us count it. And give it to him. Let him go. Wahala Tisua, we are tired. Tinubu, come and be going. No, Otisua, carry your bag. Be going. Go to Iraq. We are tired. That's all I have to say this night. You are the one who said that Jonathan should resign because he's incompetent. If he cannot resolve the insecurity.
Yes.
But what Chicago, this is way above your pay grade. The day is there. Come and be going home.
But you know you cannot just leave the show like that. No, you cannot leave the show like that without talking about the Piers Morgan's show. I'm not gonna let you.
But why Chicago should be going? No, we are tired. He should go. Tinubu does not. Tinubu is out of his depth. That is the go wherever Jonathan is. This night I didn't call to do analysis. I just called for cruise. Unfortunately, wherever Jonathan is this night, I'm sure he's just dancing. Him and Mama Pepe. She's just dancing somewhere. There is God, oh, there is God. I know these are really horrible atrocities. I watched Don Azza's, is it Don Azza's video analyzing how that soldier, how the brigadier general, it hurts me. That do you know what it is to lose a brigadier general?
Yes.
The years.
Yes.
I looked through that Don Azza's analysis. There are many complicities. Why
he would have put in over 20 years in service?
Why was the Nigerian army communicating with WhatsApp? How?
No. But the problem is that how did the camp, the ISWAP know where he was if there wasn't a leak by somebody in the Nigerian army camp?
No, WhatsApp. If you're a good person with IT, technically you can hack
it. Oh.
Yes. There was a day that we were on a Twitter thing where everybody was just on there when I still had my Twitter account. And they say somebody stole money from one of these donations when they were doing fundraising there. Not for election. They were raising the money to help someone who was in, I think, a health. I don't know all these their matters, but I think people donated to someone that was in a health crisis. The guy who they say helped to collect the money, where he was, whilst we were on the call, there one hacker like that has had the guy told us he can see where the guy is right now. He was right there on the Twitter.
No, that's from his SIM card. That's different from hacking a phone conversation, a WhatsApp conversation. No, but I get it. Yeah, with his SIM, they can hack his location. Yes, it's true.
No, what we're saying is the means of communication was not secure.
Yeah.
Because from Donazza's analysis, he showed a screenshot, I think, from this security guy's Twitter, and the screenshots of the chat that the late Brigadier General Uba was using was on WhatsApp. I know WhatsApp says encryption, but it's nothing major. It's not a military grade. Why are we not using a military grade communication to pick a soldier who is in distress? If this was a serious nation, several people would have been fired when that tweet came out. Number one, that it leaked is a problem. Number two, you are using, even companies that you work for here in the UK do not allow you use WhatsApp for company communications. It is encrypted, but I don't think there's not anything super out of the ordinary about WhatsApp encryption because it can be de-encrypted. There's nothing major about it. Companies don't use it. There's a reason companies don't use it for communication. WhatsApp, no, we don't use it. How can somebody be a soldier, a brigadier general on ground? No, it should be a motto of no soldier left behind. And you are using an unsecured communication system. Precious, I was thinking through something. I didn't want to bother you over the weekend. I was thinking through something. I went to Google to check how much did Nigeria spend for the war in Liberia,
ECOMOG,
and Sierra Leone, just Liberia. What ChatGPT said, I'll try and forward it. It says there are multiple different assertions of money, but the most common one says 8 billion. Obviously, there would have been Paddy, but let's give it to them because they won the war at the end of the day, and it was a difficult one. $8 billion. That is not our total defense budget for those period of years. Aside of your defense budget that was running in the background, this is $8 billion to prosecute that war. That is how much we spent. That is not what I was still digging into read to say, was that money the contribution of the entirety of ECOMOG, or was it just Nigeria's own spend? Obviously, now we carry the weight of the cost. It says on ChatGPT that it's Nigeria's own cost. There's a bit of haziness, a bit of questioning of the funds, but that's the widely accepted $8 billion. Precious.
Yes, please.
I need to check the budget for this last 1 to 3. I know they will say trillions, but when you say trillions, Army pension is there, Navy pension is there, all the different armed forces group, Navy, NSP, NSC, DC, National Security and Defense, all their budget together, arms purchase, arms, whatever, fees, licenses, all manner of things, training, welfare, everything together. How much did I see? Was it $300 something million if you convert it? So we have not put in 1/5 of what we spent in ECOMOG in Liberia. Liberia was $8 billion.
So remember, for me, I think it's beyond the amount we're even putting into it. If there is no complicity within, the battle would still be fought and won.
Oh no, I'm sure.
Do you understand? So with the complicity, because I mean, if you see do you see the very glaring complicity we have now? Very open and glaring complicity. Not be one person don't talk. So you don't think that? Okay, sorry, I'm sorry for asking you. Maybe we bought to Kano Jets. Have you
bought to Kano Jets? We are bigger than that now. Okay. We don't big.
But I'm just asking. But have we even used it? Were we not supposed to use it?
Mm-hmm. Why was a soldier going into a place? Immediately I watched on Azar breaking it down. In the first thing I said, come on, anybody who has seen Operation Desert Storm, Navy SEAL, different historical videos of US warfare, you know that you must do an air raid to clear an area before you do a ground drop. Why did we have a ground drop when there was no air raid? I'm not a military tactical person, so I don't know the terrain. But usually you would do an Air Force bombardment, clear, before you drop troops on ground. I am not any of those things, so I cannot. But I mean, warfare is a lot of things that a lot of us have had to watch because we've had to watch Operation Desert Storm. And Operation Desert Storm is not, it was America's invasion of Iraq. All the command, where they got it right, where they got it wrong. Thankfully, they go back and they do documentaries and they show what they got right, what they got wrong and everything. How did we not do an aerial bombardment before? Why don't we have a no-fly zone? Why have we not done an aerial bombardment before? So I'm saying what you are saying is right, but I'm saying that we are failing on multiple fronts. We need help. There is one, we don't have the political will. If you listen to what Riley Moore said on Fox News this weekend, he said Bola Tinubu's hands, I don't know if he says his hands are tied. He said, I know he's facing challenges. In other words, he's acknowledging that Tinubu is soft pedaling because he needs to win an election. Even the American has documented it because on a daily basis, all US embassies, all nations, your ambassador on ground will give you a daily, what they call a diplomatic cable. So they give diplomatic cable on a daily basis. Bola Tinubu is not going to do this because he needs these people to win an election, because he is deeply unpopular in the West, in the South. So he needs certain votes from the North. So that is one. He's compromised on that. Two, there are the infiltration or the adding of so-called repentant Boko Haram into the
Nigerian army.
Where you see officers.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead. I mean, I have to reiterate what you said or re-echo what you said. Go ahead.
It's like Pastor Shimon said, this is a multi-hydra situation. Although he was talking about it from the killings, I'm talking about it from the compromise in the army. There is the lack of political will because of elections. That's one. Two, there is the infiltration of the Nigerian army by, in quotes, so-called repentant Boko Haram, who are just sleeper cells within your army. We are in shit. I'm sorry to say. Sorry for my French. We are in deep problem because within the army you have so-called retired so-called repentant Boko Haram who are supplying information. Anything I saw the video of the soldier who said once they design a plan of attack, the next thing ISWAP knows it. The next thing Boko Haram people repent, because you say they are repentant, but they are not. They are just sleeper cells that you brought into the army. That's 2. 3, we are not funding the army. Number 1, we are seriously underfunding the army. The entire army budget that you're putting together, covering pensions of all the different facets of the army, covering welfare, that is standard defense budget. You should then have a fund to fund the war. We are at war. Nigeria as a sovereign nation has been invaded by foreign powers, foreign militias, backed by deep pocket sponsors from enemy states who want to bring us down. They are being well funded. They are being funded from external. They are funding themselves also from the monies that they are collecting from kidnapping. A lot of our forests from the north, from Borno, from the northeast, down all the way through Taraba, through Calabar, down to the south. I saw a video in Agbo where they attacked a man in his farm and they were Fulani headsmen. All through the southwest, down through Ibadan, through Owo, down, come from Benue, down through Enugu because they share border, all the way down. Our forests have been surrounded because people in the city have not seen Boko Haram take over the city, have not seen ISWAP take over the city. They don't know. They are still doing foolish, oh you foolish Galatians, still doing dirty December. But as a nation, we have been surrounded. If you are surrounded by one nation, you know how to deal with that nation. You are surrounded by different.
So, Laura, the question will be: if we have this level of complicity, especially by the repentant Boko Haram, why are we still going on with the program? Why? Why are we still going on with the DRR program?
Number 1,
why is it necessary? And why are we? Why is our government struggling, going on international media to try to, play down or deflate the killing of Christians?
You've answered yourself. The government. This government is an APC government. The last government was an APC government. The last government sat down idly, did nothing while Boko Haram took over massively. But when Buhari wanted to respond in the southeast, he said, I will teach them a lesson.
In the language they will understand.
They will understand. The level of heavy-handedness that Buhari used in the southeast, where till today as we speak, you have crowd there of soldiers harassing business people. Did they put that kind of a crowd there? There were more soldiers in Rivers State when they declared their fake state of emergency in Rivers. 10,000 soldiers. Are there 10,000 soldiers in Borno State? If there were 10,000 soldiers, a brigadier general would not be in the front of the war. When you lose a brigadier general, it's not just the life. It's the amount of secret that you torture and get out of him. It's the amount of base. A soldier I was watching said, the amount of ammunition, the amount of men, the type of weaponry you have. I'm just sure today I'm not going to focus on the government. I don't want to focus on the government. I want to focus on the military. Everything on ground indicates that you guys are going nowhere on the war on terror. You are playing with a 7-headed snake, and Nigerians don't know. Nigerians are playing with a 7-headed snake.
Do you think that that's why Gumi keeps saying that the US would not be able to do anything? Something that has been difficult for Nigerian government to do.
See, Nigeria is in a state where, there are two. Let me digress a bit. You see, there is the war on terror that is a physical war that America can come and help us to fight. That's one. But there is a war on terror that Sheikh Gumi is talking about. It's an ideological war. There are 2 different wars there. There is the main war, there is the ideological. This thing is not going to be kinetic only. It's not going to only be a kinetic strategy. You are going to have to fight and kill people, yes. But there must also be the amnesty. And unfortunately, the amnesty you gave in the South-South, I am South-South. If you don't give it in the Southwest, in the Southeast, in the Northeast, it's not going anywhere. Because what you are seeing is also backed by ideology of they gave the South, so they must give us. That is one. There is also the different Islamic variants of what jihad looks like. So we cannot bomb that ideology out of people. That's two. Then look at the fact that within the army, there is serious discrimination on the grounds of religion. I have seen multiple soldiers saying they are not promoting non-Muslim soldiers. They are locking them up in guard room for little issues. So already within, see, we are Nigeria. See, we are such a laid-back people. We don't sit and look at the depth of our problems. If America doesn't come and you don't get a serious president, this thing will come to the city. And until it comes to the city, the average Nigerian who is more focused on cruise will not wake up. They won't. I saw pastors on Capitol Hill. Is it Capitol Hill or where in the US protesting? We will come to the point where all the pastors in this country, until Trump bombs, Nigerians will not wake up. I promise you. People will be dying in the Northeast. Nigerians will carry on with Dirty December. Where the people need to be bombed out of on seriousness. See, I don't want to talk too much this night. Within your army, there is no unity. A lot of the soldiers are unhappy that somebody that they chased in the forest 8 months ago has so-called been rehabilitated and brought into the army. A soldier was shot on his side because a fellow soldier said, "You are killing our brothers, band the so-called headsmen too much." I was on Dr. Damage's show listening. A Fulani guy called in and said, when Igbos and Yorubas do Yahoo Yahoo, they don't say Igbo Yahoo Yahoo, they just say Yahoo Yahoo. Why are you calling them Fulani headsmen bandits? Can't you just say bandits? So there are lots of Fulanis who feel that this is an undue and unfair characterization. Just call them headsmen. Why are you adding? So there are layers of complicity. There are people who are ready. See, if somebody wears a suicide vest and has a mentality of a suicide vest, how do you bomb it out of them? So there's a long de-radicalization process. When the UK faced 7/7, July bombing, 7/7, is it 1997 or? Yeah, I think it was 1997. No, not 1997, 2007, when we had that London bombing.
Okay.
I think they call it 7/7. I can't remember the year. The UK government did both the kinetic, where they did a lot of breaking down of terror cells, arresting people, but they also did a de-radicalization strategy. In the UK, we call it prevent. Anybody who takes a computer science degree, I did a diploma last year, I've mentioned it before. As long as you're an IT professional, you will be taught prevent. Prevent means as long as you handle systems and stuff, and you come across anything that shows that someone who has used a system, an administrator or someone is accessing militant Islamic cleric site, like that man that came into Nigeria. If any of a company's devices, a school's device, a university's laptop is used to visit the website of a radical Islamic preacher, and you don't report as a computer or an IT person, you come across such, you will also face the law. Because they believe that if you prevent people from listening to these radical Islamists, you will be able to prevent the radicalization of young minds. So it's called the prevent strategy. It is being taught in schools. If you do a diploma course, it is everywhere. So the government is attacking it for multiple programs. Another thing is they now found out that a lot of black boys, when they go into prison, that is where when some Islamic preachers will come and preach, and that is where they now start radicalizing some of those people. The two Nigerian guys, or one of them that was involved in the killing of a British soldier called Lee Rigby, it was in prison that he got radicalized. So the government implemented prevent in prison. So it's a multiple layer strategy, but we are not starting from ground zero. Nigeria is starting from -36. We have a radicalization issue. There's a woman that was mentioned by one of the people who have been collecting data. I think she's a Nigerian woman. She has dedicated, I don't know her name. They say she's dedicated her life to preventing those children in Benue, in Plateau, in Taraba, in Bauchi, those Christian children whose fathers and mothers have been killed. Boko Haram, ISWAP, militants are offering them money to recruit because they're also losing men. So they are offering a lot of people who they have orphaned to come and join them. And she said what she's afraid of, and Mike Arnold mentioned it, that these over 1 million children who have been orphaned by Boko Haram are potential recruits because they have nowhere to go. The government of Nigeria refused to claim refugee status for them because they want to hide the numbers. Therefore, they are being kept in those places. What do they call them? IDPs. Those are not proper refugee camps because
without mother, without father, without anybody, without guidance.
Yes. And the woman says she's worried that in the next 10 years, if those 1 million children become de-radicalized, it is a problem. When I heard that, I was worried, but I didn't take it too seriously. Then I now listen on Dr. Damage's show this Sunday when they invited Reverend Dachomo, and he said there's something that is happening, that some of the women, some of the village women who their husbands have been killed, their children have been killed, some of them one hand has been cut off, different things like that. He said that sometimes they will have these repentance meetings where these women will come and cry to them that they went to sell their bodies to bandits. He said, why did you do it? They'll come and confess in church. They said there's no money to eat. The crops they planted, bandits has harvested, collected everything. And the bandits will tell them, come, let me sleep with you, then I will give you money. So some of the women come to church to confess to reverends, to know they have different network of churches, that they had nothing to eat. So they still had to go sleep with the bandits to collect money. These are Christian women. Precious, let me mention something quickly. A lot is happening. There's something systemic that has been happening in the North for more than 20 years. A lot of Northern Christians are being forced to bear Islamic name if they want to get admission, so that they can get by. They need to get admission into Ahmadu Bello University. They need to be able to.
They even want to get admission into some courses. I mean, I've heard people who say that some would want to go, for instance, on medicine. They will not give it to them if they're not Christians. I've heard. I mean, somebody said it on national television, on Arise Channel's television.
My own experience of it was this summer. My church, we invited a reverend from Jos. He went to Oxford University, but he's gone back to Jos, and he is a pastor there. His name is Pastor. Oh God, I can build a picture of his face, but I will list. Gideon Danso, Danso. He's from Plateau State. He said his wife is from one of the core North State, but they are minority Christians. She went to her state of origin, went to her local government to collect local government identification letter. On the documentation, they say she should write that she's a Muslim, else they will not give her. She has gone multiple times. They refused to give his wife state of origin, local government of origin letter. You see, at the end, he gave up that he told his wife to claim from his state, which is Plateau State. So now the wife is claiming Plateau. That is, she's gotten the documentation using, in Nigeria, you're allowed to claim your husband's state. So she's claimed her husband's state. So the husband's local government is what she's using as identification. This is something he said in summer when all of this had not happened. So evidence is more.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Let me let you go so that others will jump in. Thank you.
So let me go, Precious. But right now, as we are not ready.
But why don't you want to comment on the your minister Tuga's interview with Morgan anyway, Piers Morgan?
No, that one is a separate. I've watched it. I didn't listen to Tuga. I just fast forwarded it to a little bit of that woman, and a little bit of Reverend. Listen, I already know that they are doing only propaganda. They are not. Tinubu is not interested in dealing with this. But I thank Precious. It's not a good thing that 25 girls were captured. It's not a good thing that a brigadier general was captured. But if you remember when we spoke over the weekend, Shebi, all the spokesmen were happy that, yeah, we've done the job. Everything is going to die down. but they did not know. Maybe I told you this weekend, I said, Precious, we don't know what God has planned. It is not God's will for people to be kidnapped. But you see what has happened between when we spoke on Saturday and now? Matter when they say they don't bury with propaganda. You see, I say don't come up. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Laura. Oh, so wow, good night. Okay, so let's see who's here. T.Y. Danjuma, good evening and welcome. T.Y., in matter we get to do in Nigeria, they make tears they come off from my eye. Sometimes say Aditaya. The matter they weak me. Good evening and welcome. How you doing? I can't hear you. So you never.
Yeah, sorry. I was muted. Sorry. I said good evening. I don't know whether I go, just let you go because they don't go.
No, it's okay. I'm fine. But before you go, before you shoot, make I talk to this person. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ambrose. I'm calling from the United States.
You're welcome, Mr. Ambrose. Go ahead. Let's hear you. If you can make it quick, sir.
Yeah, I'm looking at one of your programs. I don't know which topics you want me to talk on.
Oh yeah, now you're live on air. So speak on what you want to talk.
Yes, I want to speak on our minister who just held an interview abroad. And, who kind of tried to mess the entire nation up. The numbers he put out. It's very embarrassing that somebody of that stature is not prepared for an interview internationally. Yes. Again, I reason with people who agree to the genocide. This is just ethnic cleansing and it's systematic. I know that the politicians that are in the helm of affairs are using the Boko Haram and the insurgents. They started using them in 2013, and are still using them to foment crisis. Something happened in Imo State in the last elections. There was a lot of insecurity that people didn't come out to vote. But, the APC, under the leadership of Mr. Zodema, wrote results that were very, very doctored and had the APC win all the states. So this is an instrument. They use the Boko Haram as their police.
All right,
so people should be aware of that fact.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye, sir. All right, T.Y. Danjuma, please go ahead. Sure.
Yeah, Bob Marley wrote a song called Natural Mystic. So there's a natural mystic blowing in the air. If you look at all that you have talked about and all that's happened in our country in the past 1 week, you would see clearly that the storms are gathering. The storms are gathering. By now, this nation is supposed to be mourning. We're supposed to have our flag half mast or half staff as we stay here. But
no, they're not be Buhari. Sorry, they're not be important personality with that.
Fine. You see, so the president is away in South Africa to go and to go for the G20. What is he going to say there? Your house is burning and you're leaving it to pursue it. So it's sad. If you look at first of all the kidnap of the 25 girls from government girls comprehensive school in Maga in Kebbi. From the report I was reading, the soldiers who were detailed to guide that school, had gotten intel from DSS that something like this was going to happen. And they were all 30 minutes after they left, the insurgents struck. And they had all the time to do what they were going to do. I was listening to the wife of the vice principal that was killed, who was trying to protect his girls. and she narrated how this whole thing happened and how her daughter escaped because they took that one alone.
Yeah, I have the story here. I just took the headline. I would have carried all of it. I've
Yes.
read that.
So it is sad, within this 48 to 72 hours, you have had this, kidnap issue. You have had the banditry. You have had, issues of insurgency in Niger State and Zamfara State. You had the death of this brigadier. Yeah, I don't want to comment about, I listened to Laura, but, we are not soldiers and we can't understand the complications that is involved and what happened, that led to the, the brigadier being totally disengaged from, the rest of his team. We don't know. Maybe in that case, when that happened, the only thing that he had was his phone. So we don't have the facts. Because though I don't think that Nigerian army is so poor that they go to battle and they don't have satellite-based systems, they don't have encrypted systems that are going to use, and all that. So we don't have the facts. We will never know because the military will not tell you. But the point, it shows clearly that some of these fights that we are fighting are things that technology can do. Now, when you now have a history of ambushes, you now have people columns in the military who are giving out information. Then the emphasis, the policy should be to reduce the exposure, physical exposure of your troops. And you rely more on technology to locate places and to use technology, to attack and to defeat, whether by air or whether by other means, So it's unfortunate, but it just shows you that the commander-in-chief is not commanding properly. It just shows you that Nigeria is not serious, with the fight against insurgency. It just shows you that, something drastic needs to happen. And then if you add it to the things that Nicki is doing now, and all the constituencies that he has offended, including the military, the PDP, and all that. I mean, look at what happened during this PDP convention. It's all Nicki. It's all your brother. And I see the threat of one
So
party
if you
state.
call him name Ezebonye some wiki without adding your brother inside this conversation now, this matter no go straight.
No, I call Enyi. I don't say Enyi. I say your brother now. Not your brother. I don't say Wike is a more Enyi. No, I know. I say now your brother. Now your River State brother. Now you won't deny him.
No problem. Go ahead.
Are you angry because he not give you land? I can appeal to him to give you land for Abuja.
She basically be that in the book land you give me. Make I know say I dey loved.
So
head.
You look at all the demolitions in Abuja, in Lagos, even in Edo State. They're treating national cohesion. So totally, and then you look at all the indices about inflation, about poverty, 139 Nigerians, living below the poverty line. You look at unemployment, you look at profligacy, you look at the toxic nature of the communication of the government. Corruption, nepotism, grandstanding, multidimensional poverty. You look at all those things. You just cannot but come to the conclusion that this is a fail. In fact, okay, maybe let me be generous. The nation is failing, and therefore there is a need for external intervention. People come to Nigeria and ride roughshod over us, foreigners. Take our land, kill people, mine our resources, unrestricted, unabated. And this is a country, a sovereign country. And we say we have a military, we have a police. Everything has broken down. No other impunity, nepotism, no regard for the Constitution. And then you have a state capture, you have the judiciary is in utter decay. And then, of course, the press. Not you are not among them. But you see, the press, they are guarded. They are prevented from giving us information because if you do, you are sanctioned. So thank God for social media and people like you. Otherwise, you won't hear nothing. So when you put all this together, The question you want to ask, where is the hope for young people? Where's the hope? Why can't people, why, if we have an invasion now in the country, you think that you have Nigerians standing to say they want to die or defend the country? If the enemy is offering them money, they would rather go and fight with the enemy to get money. These are serious issues. And honestly, I think at this stage, the president should just bow down and go. Because he has shown total inability to govern this country. Totally. Totally. And if we can't do it, and see, look at the PDP now, asking that Trump should please come. They now acknowledge that there's Christian genocide. They now acknowledge that things are good, there's impunity, things are not going on. The democracy is threatened. And they are saying with their own mouth, say it. Not the Christians now saying, they are now saying, please come. And these are not Christians. The man who said it is not a Christian. He's a Muslim, now saying, please come. So they know the truth. But because that time he probably was favoring them, now he's not favoring them. So now they now say, that's the politics you have been playing in Nigeria, which is unfortunate. I think that we should all agree that this democracy is not working. It's coming to a standstill. And there is something drastic that needs to happen. Otherwise, I can't imagine.
This renewed vigor by the PDP to try to fight for the life of the PDP, and what they say it's like the life of democracy they're fighting for. Because I don't know, why do you think it just dawned on them that the entire idea was to have a one-party state and perhaps ensure that President Bola Tinubu doesn't have a very strong contender?
You see, what you saw is what you reap. First of all these things that are happening, whether it's insurgency, whether it's the nature of our politics today, the North must own up and say we messed up, we blew it. They caused this, they encourage it, they put Tinubu there, they rigged him into office. Okay? The insurgency, they saw it, they let it fester because initially it wasn't affecting them. So now, it's now affecting everybody. The economy of the North is dead. People can't go to job, insecurity. And unfortunately, the middle belt is the one that is the casualty in all these things. So the reason why they are shouting is that all their interest, because there's PDP caused this problem. And unfortunately, it's backfiring against them. You can see Wike, you can see Ortom, you can see Makinde, they are all now fighting against them. But PDP caused this problem to themselves. And so they are paying. This is nemesis for them, if you like, if you want to put it that way. Now, but let me just end by saying that, you see, the only thing that can solve this problem, the only thing that I think is going to solve this problem, and I'm sorry, I have not been an apologist to, is becoming very obvious that the center can no longer hold. It's becoming very, very obvious that the level of animosity, the level of disgruntlement, the level of poverty, that we are seeing, and the fact that the government is not ready to come clean and accept that it's not doing what it has failed. Now we're getting to a state, a position where something is going to happen. And I can't say it here, because of, but it's very clear I see a smoke, a building. I see a smoldering smoke. I see a fire that is going to, come up, because now every section of the country is affected. And so it's not just one section, like the Civil War where it was just one section. But now every part is affected. And they are not talking about 2027 again. People are running for their personal interests. You go to APC, that's why Soludo won, because all his intention is he wants to retain, he wants to come back. So the best song for him to sing is to sing a song on your mandate we stand. And once you sing it, then you're untouched. So that is the pattern. It doesn't mean that they're supporting APC, because the bubble is going to burst. There's going to be an implosion. All of them that are going are not going there. Those who went from Delta State, they are regretting now. So they're not going because they see any. It's only a foolish person that will go to APC and say because they've done well. No. It's because the system now will come after you if you don't acquiesce to what they're saying, if you don't sing their praises. They like to hear you praise them. Imuche likes to hear you praise him. The president likes to hear you sing his praise. And so that's what they are telling him. Everybody is telling him, at least for peace to reign, so that they will not be targeted. But this cannot continue for a long time because the bubble is going to burst. And I'm sorry for Nigeria. I will stop there. Just good night. Precious.
So now, what's like because of this thing when you talk now, I make the judges go sing on your mandate, you shall stand.
Can you imagine judges? You
or
know,
they say our president go talk about judiciary, talk how he good, make judiciary they independent, make them do.
Did you listen to the message?
You know,
how can somebody? It's like a devil coming to preach to you to say it's good to be good.
No,
don't say,
well.
don't do this.
But the president spoke absolutely well. He spoke very well.
Precious.
Sir.
Precious. If I were the president in his position, knowing that all those things where they talk, I have been number one culprit. I'll be number one. I won't read that kind of a thing. It's an indictment. They will wrote it to indict him. You will look at it, you say, look, you will throw it away. He's telling judges not to be, what is the word I'm looking for, you know, in the dispensation of justice, that they should be fair, they should be free and fair, this and that and all that, and they laugh. The process by which he came, he himself used his mouth to say he stole it, to snatch it, he ran with it. Who is he preaching to? Who is he preaching to? Who is it preaching? The judiciary, where that invented Bokachuanization. Has anybody been probed? The judiciary that is interpreting and as a different thing. The INEC that frustrated somebody who wants to make a case. Give me the paper so that I can make a case. INEC refused. Instead of INEC coming to be independent, INEC became a part and parcel of a political party. Who is he preaching to? They go to laugh at him. The judge himself go to laugh at him. What is this man saying? Because it's not from his heart. They just say, and you know, you make mockery of the judiciary and international community. They look at us, they laugh and say, "What is this man saying?" You know. So it's a shame. It's a shame. Where are the Oputas? Where are the Kayode shows? Are they still, can you find any of them there? In all those places that you see. And they promoted them. After making that ridiculous judgment, they promoted all of them to the Supreme Court to continue the same thing, travesty of justice. So what is he preaching? Yeah. So forget about that one. The person who don't write. They don't give them any money. You don't carry money for pocket. You don't go. But that is nonsense. We don't. I'm not ready to listen to the message, no matter how good it is, because the messenger is the messenger, and the example that he has shown. I mean, if you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a pastor, or you're a pastor, you're on the pulpit and you are preaching to people, and your life doesn't reflect the kind of things you are preaching or you're teaching, what is that? You are making a mockery of yourself. Have you seen Bwala, who is from Southern Borno, where there have been these killings? Have you seen Bwala stand to denounce the killing in his own constituency? Have you seen him, speaking on issues to do with his own state and with the killings?
He may have done it in the past administration, maybe not now.
Well, thank God that you say not now, because it's worse now. His governor has spoken. His senator has spoken. But he won't speak. But he will speak on Obi or on IPOP or on, all kinds of nonsense you speak. But after a while, this is tenure, then Osaka will finish. He can't go back to his people. He can't, because they will ask him. I can leave you, go good on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Good night. Sleep well.
Please, well done. Thank you. All right, Nigerians, that's the size of our package today. Thank you for joining me to do this again today. Let's continue to speak for the growth and development of our nation. Hopefully tomorrow I could try make I bring. It is some guests who I don't dey for sure. Make I look whether they go. You know, let us come here, make we talk, scatter table small, talk about things where they happen for Nigeria. I love on plenty. Remember to protect your mental health. If you've not followed us like your village people, what would you get? Go and follow us across all social media platforms at Precious Inyi TV, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere at Precious Inyi TV. Kai, I'm not such a social media person, but I will try my best to, and you can also buzz me or DM me in any of those platforms. I promise I will try my best. Precious Inyi TV, if you DM me there, I will try my best to respond to it. And if you have questions or anything you want to ask. At the meantime, I'd like to say thank you to all of you. I love you guys. Protect your mental health. Good night and God bless you.